What's going on, dudes and dudettes? We're actually just now leaving the dump. Literally, I had to drop off. We had, if you guys remember my squirrel, Bruce, and yes, I do have a pet squirrel. I feel like I always have to reinstate that. But we got her a new cage like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I finally just dropped off her old, literally pee-soaked cage. It was a nasty. I'm so glad we finally got rid of it because the kitchen looks so much better. Oh my god, her new cage is like phenomenal. But anyways, had to drop this off, run a few errands before we headed up to the gym today. So yeah, I just got done. I had to park on the side of the road to take my pre-workout because I didn't want to. I had to go do a few errands, so I didn't want to just take my pre-workout at home. Because it would have started kicking in, like, honestly, around now. And I wanted to kick in when we get to the gym. About 15, 20 minutes from now. So, that's another big tip. I do recommend, like, I have seen a lot of people, like, dry scooping and shit. Which is, it's not the dry scooping, as long as you're drinking a ton of water and not choking yourself, which that can happen. Be careful. But you also want to make sure that, like, you know, you want to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with it. Like, you're not just taking it for the caffeine. If you're taking it for the caffeine, just take a freaking caffeine pill, man. For real. Like, it's so much cheaper, and you're not gonna have the jitters, man. But I don't know. I feel like people start, especially when I started using it, like when you're, I'd say 16 to 20 years old is when people start probably experimenting with that stuff. Or at least that's my experience with it. You know, obviously there are people who are a little bit older, maybe are newer to it. But just realize that, like, it's just there to help give you a little bit of an extra tip. Like, you know, besides the, you know, the main reason I take it, I tell you guys this all the time, the main reason I take the pre-workout is for the pump factor. There's a dead possum on the road. Which is honestly the main, and obviously caffeine as well. Like, I'm really big on caffeine for, honestly, it can be good for heart health, and it can be good for burning fat if you use it correctly. If you go crazy with it, it's terrible for your heart health. And you gotta really draw the line somewhere in there. For me, it's about 600 to 700 milligrams a day. I'm pretty big though, so that can usually, as long as it's really all about, for me, like, as long as I don't go over a gram a day, I'm usually fine. And as long as I stop taking caffeine. I'll usually stop after, you know, before 5 p.m. I'll stop having caffeine. I usually stop way before that. Usually it's like, honestly, the pre-workout's really been the only thing I take. It's the last, like, bit of caffeine. I'll take some caffeine in the morning, like 200 milligram caffeine pill. And then I'll take the pre-workout. And that's, you know, in total, that's about 500 milligrams a day. So it's really not even that much, you know. It may be a lot for you guys who don't do a lot of stuff like that, but trust me, if you're drinking coffee, like, that's probably equivalent to, I don't know, six big cups of coffee, you know, a day, which is a lot of coffee. But the problem with coffee is that, like, it's not as bad as people think. I think there are people who get on it and drink way too much of it, for sure. But I think people really hammer down on that, instead of also thinking, maybe I should just also drink a lot of water. I think that's where people get confused. Like, it's very evident that the problems people are having are just dehydration. Like, listen, the reason caffeine can be so bad for you at a certain point is because you get super dehydrated, man. Like, it's just how it works. You know what I mean? And I think people just get way too, they get way too, like, I want to take or not take this, you know? Well, how about you need to drink as much water as you're supposed to be drinking, right? And a lot of people don't realize it's like it's half your weight in ounces just for health reasons. And that's a lot for some people. Like, it's not the 8 cups a day. I don't know why that was a thing. I think what it is, and why this is why there's so much confusion with health and stuff, is because I feel like fitness is something that, not to feel like this, but like it's you can look back on the data, but like fitness is one of those things that's only been around for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Like, maybe within the past 100 years, 150 years, we've been trying to focus on, like, supplements and nutrition. I mean, there have been certain stuff outside of that, but it's like less science-based stuff. Like the science-based stuff behind it is just now kind of coming, you know? Really science-based stuff is a really new idea, by the way, guys, with everything. Like, I think it was like, until the scientific revolution, until we got the scientific theory, what do we call that? I can't remember what it's called. But like the scientific method, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, scientific method. So like, you know, hypothesizing and doing it like in a scientific way of like actually finding this research. Before that, we were really just like, I'm telling y'all, like they were really just saying shit back in the day. Like, and I say back in the day, like we're talking like 1600s, but that's not that long ago. You know what I mean? That's not that long ago. And I think the reason people get confused with all this stuff is because like we're just, you know, it's hard to have good case studies with this kind of stuff, you know, because it's person by person, you know, what someone's dealing with at a time. But for the most part, it's starting to get, you know, we're over the past 20 years specifically. I would say, yeah, in the 2000, actually, I would say ever since about the 1970s on, since Arnold really made bodybuilding popular. That's when all the research and stuff, because there's a market for it, right? Because you have to pay for these studies to happen. You got to pay to people to be in the studies. And I know this because I've done research studies at, like, I've been part of studies at, you know, colleges, you know, Arkansas State, right up here. I've done stuff in the psychology department. I've done stuff in the zoology department. So I kind of have an understanding of, like, not obviously how every study's run, because they're all different, but I know the scientific method pretty well. You know, it's something I'm pretty well familiar with. I understand how studies work. And when it comes down to this kind of stuff, and I've read a lot of the studies on a lot of different things, especially when it comes down to nutrition, exercise stuff, but also on other stuff too, because I like to read, you know, instead of Googling, looking at different, and we're going on a kind of a tangent here, but with anything, not just fitness related stuff, like science, space, really science, I guess you could say, it's all science, but like space, nutrition, fitness, whatever it may be, biology, zoology, because I have a passion for that as well. I have a tendency to go to like Google Scholar or actually look at research papers, or I don't even like looking at individual research papers, because that can even be a little bit, honestly, it can kind of confuse you. The reason for that is just because, like, listen, man, it just depends on where the money's coming from for a lot of the. It's better to look at what we call not a case study, but when we're trying to get a conclusion on like overall health, for example, or an overall thing, you need to look at a group of studies. You don't need to look at just one study, because one study, you don't know like there's a whole bunch of variables that go into each study. And I think the term they use for that is oh man, I used to know it like the freaking, because it's such a different word. Oh my God, what is that word? That's gonna drive me nuts, because it's such a different word, and it's like, so it used to be so easy for me to remember. But there's a room for error for everything, for every study there ever is, and they actually calculate that into their conclusions. I cannot remember what that word is, man. That's gonna drive me fucking bananas, dude. But that's why you want to look at a group of studies. You want to see what like a group of different kinds of studies, like just because you're running a study doesn't mean you have a conclusion. You need to have not just one study going. You have to look at a bunch of different studies. That's why it's hard to really draw conclusions, because you don't know. For example, here's a great example, is like the whole thing on trans fats in like, you know, the whole population. If you guys remember it, some of you guys may be too young to remember this, but back in like around 2008, there was like a whole thing about banning trans fats, and like there was a bunch of stuff about like, you know, not making certain foods available and stuff like that. I think there's actually an American Dad episodes based on this, if you guys want to look at that. I remember they didn't actually go through with a lot of it, but there was like bills getting ready to get passed, because they were trying to figure out, obviously Americans were getting fat, and they were like, what's going on? And there were a lot of studies pointing towards like fats being bad, red meats being bad, stuff like that. And this is why there's a misconception with red meats being bad for you. But no one realized that the study was funded by corporations like Coca-Cola, I think Haribo gummy bears. Like, it was a bunch of sugar companies. So it was a sugar corporation that made people think that was bad for you, so that they didn't think that all that other stuff was bad for you, right? If you go looking for something, like, you're gonna find it. You know what I mean? And so that's what happens with some of these studies, is that people go looking for like a certain answer, right? Like, they're not just trying to see what happens. They're not looking for a correlation. They're looking for a certain answer. And they will manipulate or do certain tests to make it look a certain way. You know, for example, with the red meats, for example, in pork, what they were trying to show is that how it heightened triglyceride levels and stuff like that. And it does, but so does fucking, what people don't understand is, like, what they weren't looking at in those studies. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. What they weren't looking at, basically how the study ran, and I'll kind of give this I'll wrap this up with this, but the way they kind of ran the study is they basically asked people, or they had this group of people include red meats into their diet, and then they check their, you know, blood work and stuff like that. So all they knew from the study is they knew that they included red meats every single day. What they didn't tell them to do, and what they didn't ask in that same exact study, is what they were eating outside of that. They were not tracking their calories. They were not tracking their protein. They were not tracking their water. They obviously were eating tons of French fries. Like, dude, you could literally be going to McDonald's and, like, yeah, you're getting some red meat in that McDonald's burger, but you're also getting carbs from the fries, carbs from the sugar from the Coca-Cola. This is what I mean, dude. This is what I mean. And so they took that study, and since they left certain things out, they were able to conclude that it was red meats caused obese and caused all these issues. And it wasn't red meat, it's obesity that causes these issues. But if you're not looking, like, it all depends on the question you're asking, right? That's what I mean by, you know, that's what it, freaking fire department, come on, go save some lives. That's okay, I can joke like that. I've got buddies in the fire department. I was actually looking to see if they were in there, believe it or not. They weren't, from what I could tell. What was I talking about? But yeah, those studies can be really, you need to look at a group of studies, and you need to see what the overall conclusion is over a group of studies. For example, there's another, something I'm wanting to look into, and I wish there were more studies on so I can come to a more conclusive kind of idea on, you know, me taking this as a supplement. But boron, for example, it's one of the new supplements I've been taking for boosting testosterone. And from the studies we can see, there was only like 2 or 3 that I could really find, all of them kind of pointing to the idea that it does boost testosterone pretty significantly. But 2 or 3 studies really isn't even enough. I mean, we're talking like we need 10, we need 15 that are all kind of saying relatively the same thing. Like, yeah, it helps with that, but there's so much, like, the problem with that, and this is why there's so much, like, manipulation when it comes down to these studies and you know, just information in general when we're trying to get it out to the public, is these studies someone has to pay for this stuff, right? Someone has to pay for the study, the stuff that actually happened. Like, you have to have the equipment there. We're talking thousands of dollars, right? Someone has to pay the people who are participating in the studies. Like, you don't just do them for free, right? There's sometimes when they're doing them through colleges, you can get away with, like, that. What happened with me is I was able to get, like, gift cards and stuff while participating in, like, psychology studies and stuff like that, like a double-blind study kind of thing. But most of the time, that's still, we're talking, like, most of these studies are still talking like, it was like a $25, $50 gift card. You got to give that out to 50 students, 100 students for the study. You know, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars that someone has to pay money for this. Like, someone has to fund this, right? And that's the problem, is, like, the people who have the money to fund this typically also have an agenda, like Coca-Cola. And so that's that. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Coca-Cola, but you need to be aware of this shit, man. You got to be aware, like, they're doing some evil shit with that stuff, but it's also the fact that if you have the information, as long as you're willing to go out and do some research and look and see what an overall consensus on these ideas are, that's what's going to help you understand what's real. And you also just have to be patient and let people do the research too, because it's going to take time, y'all. Like, I know we live in the 21st century, but listen, we don't know everything. Like we're still learning stuff, man. We're still evolving as humans. It's a really cool thing. But I understand that's something I think a lot of people don't get is like, I don't understand this, I don't understand. Yeah, that's the point, man. No one does. We're still learning as humans. Well, you don't have all the answers to everything yet. You know what I mean? I think people forget that sometimes just because we are so, we're living basically in the future. But yeah, I mean, there's never going to be a point where we know everything. There's never going to be that way. So, I don't know. That was my whole two spiel. It was a big, long talk on the way. We're almost at the gym, man. That was a solid, like, 20-minute talk. But it's chest day. Shit, man. I went on there for a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I covered that because it's some stuff I think about. That's the thought process I have when I'm looking at studies and how I learned all this stuff as far as nutrition. And exercise is a lot more simple than that. You don't have to get super science-based when it comes to exercise. You just need to fucking go in there and lift heavy and a lot of reps. But nutrition gets a little bit crazy. That's why I have such a passion for it, because you do need to, it's a little bit more nitty-gritty, because you go to the gym, hour and a half, 2 hours a day, 5 to 7 days a week. You gotta do nutrition every day, all day, 24/7. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more monotonous. But anyways, we here. I definitely want to get some incline press in. I'm gonna warm up that lower back or that psoas. Make sure we don't have any issues with the arch, because that's what happened last time. But really, it was me taking off my shirt. Let's remember that. Like, it wasn't the actual bench. The bench just kind of didn't feel good on it. So we'll play around. I think honestly the incline will be a little bit better and more forgiving on it anyways. So let's get inside and do it. We're getting into this chest day fairly quick. So I know we said we were going to do some incline, but there's currently someone on there. And we might go ahead and do, I kind of feel like doing some dumbbell incline, dude. I didn't record them yesterday. We did some one-arm rows and we got up to the 110s. So I really kind of want to start experimenting a little bit and seeing what I can do with the dumbbells. I think we were doing like maybe the 100s last time. I can't remember. So we'll have to play around. And I think that was flat, so I can't really even remember. But I want to go ahead and do, we got 3 plates at 25. I did a set with 4 plates and I got 3 in. But I want a little bit more volume than that. I would really like to try and get 5 to 8 of these. I think I can probably get 6 if I'm being real honest with myself. And if I would just give myself a chance to breathe, bro. There's 6. Let's see if we can get 2 more. 7. Ooh, was not gonna get 8. We got more than I thought, so that's positive. And again, I don't think I've done 4 plates with 3. Sorry, I don't think I've done 4 plates on this for 3. So I think that's a PR technically for me. So we got the progressive overload. So I'm fine with the weight being where it's at. Let's go ahead and bump this down and get a set till failure with 3 plates. That's probably gonna get a minute break. I'm not trying to give myself, I think I've been giving myself a little bit. First exercise, it's fine, give myself a little bit of a longer break. After that, I really want to try and keep it to 45 to 60 second breaks. I'm starting to get burnt. That's what I get for giving that 60 second break. Drop set. Ain't giving up that easy. It's because that's what happens when you give yourself way less of a break. You need that oxygen, man. It's important. But again, like I said, we already got the heavy part of the lifting done for the day, so we'll try and get some volume here. Head back. Forward. Back. Okay. That's good. Perfect. That feels like a good squeeze, man.
All right. Ooh, I think the incline just opened up, so I might go snag that while I got a chance, honestly. We might go ahead and do a pose out after this, because this right here, this area, this spot is the best posing spot or best lighting in the gym for sure. It just has that straight up and down. And when we do it back there, I see so many people pose back there, but it has the worst lighting because there's a bar that goes right over the light. And so all you're getting is like side shadows. You know what I mean? So right here, you're getting it directly on. Definitely one of the best spots in there. And it's not like so bright that it's more like a kind of like a dull light. So it's perfect. Anyways, these are getting me today, man. I'm going a little bit wider grip today. And the wider grip, I can really feel stretching. So we're going to keep doing that. You know, we might do a superset here. So we might go wide grip and then close grip since it's nice. But I'm telling you all this. I think it's just because I just wore myself out on that freaking horizontal press. I feel so uneven, man. Doesn't it? I don't know. Almost feels like my right side is not activating as much. Go close. Oh man, that's still rough. Nope. That's all I got, man. Jeez. No. I think it's just because, I do know. It's because I'm doing a lot of that weight at first, and that's where most of my carbs are going, which is fine. Just it's making it hard to sustain even a medium weight. That's very medium for me, but we'll do one more set. I'll probably try and squeeze out a few more than just 10 on this one though, but I feel like we got a decent pump. We'll check it after this, we'll see. It's literally been like 30, 45 seconds. This is also why it's just hitting me rough, but I need to be doing that more. I really do. It's gonna help make sure I don't stay in here for too long, but I wanna understand, like, why the fuck do I look so uneven? Is it just me, or does my right side or my left side look like it's flexing up more than my right side? I don't know, man. I'm trying to pinch my shoulder blades back and just actually get a normal grip here. Normal grip. Maybe one arm's longer than the other. That could be another thing too. All the more reason we need to be doing dumbbells though. God. Man. I'm probably going to get some dumbbell incline press here in a minute. Off camera. Well, I'll record it for the TikTok, but it's fucking frustrating. Fucking pissing me off right there. Yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, let me take advantage of this lighting while we got it. We'll do a quick pose out. Let's take a gander at this bad boy real quick. Feeling sweaty. Man. Oh yeah, we're sweating. You can see it on that cap now. I never tell. Ooh, juicy. Try to get y'all right in the right spot. Yeah, I mean, we're pumped up. A lot better than yesterday too. I'm not bloated. Like, only had about 1,700 calories. I still fucked up on my fucking intermittent fasting, but it is what it is. I need to really focus on that. But I did better. I do feel better. not so fucking bloated. Haven't done this pose in a minute. I'm not exactly happy with the placement I got y'all at too. It's this freaking, there we go. It's the freaking tripod, man. We really got that little yachty song going. Let's try the other side. I feel like my triceps really got a really freaky pump going too, as they should. It's definitely better on this side. Make sure my right side's showing first. We gotta figure out what my good sides are for these poses, man. That way I know when I go on stage. That's way easier to hit for me too. I need to work on my thoracic mobility, like my turning. Let's actually see the lats. We'll work on that bicep. Really, I think tomorrow, since we have arms, we're really going to work on biceps because we never focus heavy on biceps. We're going to focus heavy on biceps and forearms because we never do that. And I feel like we got triceps pretty hit too today too. But rotation out, you guys can see when I turn my arm out, because I saw someone comment. I may even like pin that comment when we make this into a TikTok, because I guarantee you we will. But whenever you rotate, someone was saying like it doesn't matter the flexion of your forearm whenever you're doing biceps. That's literally the function of the bicep, dude. If you watch, when I turn my arm, you see my bicep flexing up? It's the brachialis that brings your arm this way, but your bicep is what turns. You see that? And when you do the two together, you see the difference? Turn compared to just pull. You see what I mean? One more time. Turn compared to just pull. That's how you get that peak kind of going. And so tomorrow, one thing I'm going to be doing is we're going to be doing something called concentration curls, which is going to be a huge benefit for you guys. I used to do them a lot, but now I'm going to have a real big focus. Like literally when I'm doing them, I'm thinking about turning my elbow all the way out. Anytime you're trying to hit that bicep peak, you want to almost like try and take this hand with the, let's say you have a dumbbell in here, and turn it all the way out. That's what's really going to help you right there. And then, of course, you want to get some brachialis in too. I'm not saying brachialis is bad, it's just I think a lot of people are focusing on that. Let's get a few more in and then we'll be good to go. Actually, I want to do this one again because I need to take a look at those forearms. They're getting better. I really want to hammer down on some forearms. You guys comment some of your favorite forearm exercises because I really only got a few that I use. Let's get a tricep pose real quick too. I gotta get that stretched out because it's hard for me to even pull that back, man. I just feel so tight. I don't even feel like it looks good to me. I'll play around with this one too. We'll do some experimentation with this one because I just don't feel like I'm doing it quite right. And I feel like there's some cues I need to work on, or maybe some angles I need to work on with that. Last one. Oh, that lat really likes to poke out there, don't it? I wonder what happens about like... I need to just do this as a stretch, man. Just look at that. It really folds out. All right. We're going to get some kind of fly variation going. Again, I kind of want to get some cables going. We didn't get to do any cable flies besides the pec deck, but that's different. Let's get some cable flies going, and then I'll probably also do some incline. I'll do a lot of stuff off camera, so let's get the last exercise for the video done. I'll wrap up with some different variations of like a cable fly. I'm grabbing them like this, pulling, and then when I go back, if I keep it like a fly variation, I can actually feel it like helping me squeeze my traps back and really stretch it out there. And then of course, I'm probably gonna hit some pec deck anyways. I just freaking love them. I can't help it. But these have a really big ball attachment on it. So where I can like really grip this right here. Right here, boom. And this really helps hit my upper chest, so boom. And then when I go back, I'm squeezing back. Boom. And what makes this different than like a dumbbell is that whole time, doesn't matter if I'm at the top or at the bottom, I'm gonna keep constant tension. And I can actually physically, I don't know if y'all can see that, but see some striations developing in the middle of my chest, like right there. That's really, I don't know if I need to be right here. Let me scoot up and like lean back with it. Ooh, God. One more. God. Ow. Pinched the shit out of my skin. That's okay. Scared me. Thought I was gonna take a chunk out. Whew. No, that pumps up a lot of blood in there. And in a different way, I like it. It's just something different. You know how we are about that. All right. One more set. And this last set, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and lean forward like this and go up like that. Just really focus like all upper chest right here. I've never done this before either, so again, I don't know how this is gonna be. But I can definitely feel there's an uneven balance in my traps, I think. Driving me bananas. I think part of it too is like, it's just a lot, I still have some body fat on there, so it's really hard to see what's what. And I think that's just part of the bulk rather than just like the muscles being imbalanced, but it could be both. Who knows? Not me. All right, let me get here. I mean, I could go here too. Ooh, honestly, I like that a lot. We'll do a superset right here. So we'll go, boom. Yeah, you can really see how uneven it is there. I do like the squeeze of it though. It's very different. And I think it is gonna help balance it out a little bit more, because I think I can almost see the imbalances. I think it's my torso. It's like just wanting to turn one way. Oh yeah, I feel that. Ooh, dude. Okay, we're gonna do that. Maybe not next time. We're gonna do that again. I like the way that felt. That's different. Very upper chest oriented, but I think I just need to stretch a lot of this out. I think we got some tightness up in that area. But anyways, I still got 3 or 4 more exercises I plan on getting in, including abs. So I'm gonna get that stuff done, and then I'll see y'all in the car because we got everything recorded. Woo! That was a good workout. Oh God, I can't fucking reach the seatbelt. Okay. My God, you boys toast Malos. Honestly, I don't need to be wearing this hoodie. This hoodie is way too fucking hot. But I guess we'll just turn the air on a little bit. I don't know. I don't feel like taking it off right now. Oh man, your boy's sweaty. I meant to remind you guys too. I'm gonna try and get this video posted before we go live tonight, or maybe at the same time. I don't know. But we are going live tonight on the TikTok. So I did start streaming again on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. I figured out a stream schedule that I think is going to work for us. So yeah, we're gonna start doing that now. So Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. CST, we will be streaming. Let me fix y'all a little bit. There you go. We'll be streaming on TikTok for about like maybe an hour, hour and a half. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we're gonna be streaming on YouTube. It just gives me a chance to communicate with both of you guys, because I know we got people on both different platforms, and not everyone's really wanting to switch over, and we got different kinds of content on both platforms, so they're both gonna be gaming streams. Well, actually, I was thinking about doing some reaction streams for the YouTube. That would be kind of fun. We might do that. I don't know. You guys actually recommended a game to me last time too, so I don't know what we'll do with it. We're gonna do something with it, all right? We're gonna figure something the fuck out. But again, solid fucking chest day. I ended up getting in quite a bit. Another thing I'm going to be doing, by the way, is posting more shorts, gaming and fitness related. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of like what I post on TikTok. It's just going to be like, you know, reposting it from TikTok to YouTube just to get it on the platform. So that's what we're going to be doing. Not going to be posting nearly as much as I do on TikTok. TikTok, I post like, the news idea for the schedule for TikTok is like 6 posts a day. I have a kind of a routine I've got going now. I was doing 3 a day, and now we're going to be including gaming content to kind of put my fitness and gaming into one niche. Because that's definitely you know, fitness gamers, that's definitely a niche, or people who want to get into fitness that are gamers, or people who want to be healthier that are gamers. That's my niche. That's the niche I'm trying to go down into anyway. That's how I'm able to start kind of doing all this stuff again, which is very exciting. It's got me very motivated. But yeah, man, again, let me bring it back around to the workout, talk about that. But I feel like time-wise, we really got after it. Like, we definitely reduced the amount of time we were resting. So I think we were doing on average like a 60-second breaks. That's why, like, on that first set, on that first exercise, you can definitely tell, like, when I dropped down like a full plate and I was still only able to get in the same amount of reps, I was like, shit, I probably should have waited a solid 2 minutes. But it's fine. You know, doing that variability kind of training is going to help a lot with like building the chest and stuff. And we were in there for less than 2 hours. That's the first time we've done that in a minute, man. That's kind of nice. And doing it in a way where I feel like we didn't like miss out on anything. I feel like we got some solid weight going. We got some solid volume going at some heavy weight. I got some, well, there y'all go. Y'all are leaving me again. Why y'all leaving me? All right, now y'all are stuck. I'm gonna have to do something about that. We ain't gonna get y'all stuck there. I don't know how that even happened. Oh, just shit. Now y'all are like fucking sideways. What the hell's going on here? Anyways. I hate that. We're not doing that. There. I don't even know how that happened. I gotta figure out how to get y'all down in there so y'all don't move anymore. We had it down pat, and now I don't know what's going on. Anyways. The fuck was I talking about? I don't know. Tomorrow we got arms, and like I said, I do want to focus on, I want to prioritize forearms and biceps. We have not done that. I think we might do some barbell bicep curls. Right? That sounds like a fun time. And then after the barbell bicep curls, I'll probably go ahead and do something for the forearm. I want to do something like really, again, you guys drop some forearm exercises. I need some. I definitely need some. Oh, what's going on up here? There's an ambulance and police at the Walgreens. Someone getting arrested? Nah, who cares? Anyways, I'm gonna go home. I got some, I'm eating so much chicken nowadays, y'all. I don't even have to get a protein shake in today. I'm getting 250 grams, 260 grams of protein today through whole food. Can you believe that? It gets easier, I promise you guys. As you get used to a high protein diet, you start understanding all these different ways of trying to get that high protein up. And I just use the protein shakes when I need them now. I don't really need them, and I like them, man. They kind of have this cookies and creams. It's like cookies and creams, not plural. There's no plural to creams. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go eat some cereal because that's what I've got tracked for the day. And then later tonight, I'll eat some chicken and rice. I'll try and get it in before the live stream, or maybe during. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a dinner live stream. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for arms and traps. So, yeah, peace.